Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Naga, back with some more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Thank you so much for the support in the last video. I really appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. Do like and sub if you're new to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you can see when I'm posting and you're not left out of the loop. Anyways, today we're playing some more 3v3 face-off on ICBM and KGB with my buddies Fun and Sebastian. You can actually hear them in the background. I had them turned up on Discord a little bit because things were getting a little loud in game, because face-off can get a little chaotic at times. But yeah, we just enjoy playing this game as a trio. Usually that's why we're playing 3v3 most of the time. It's more sweaty than 6v6, but it's a really good time if you have fun playing with your buddies. Though sometimes you can see that my connection ain't the best, and I do really struggle sometimes with high ping playing this game mode. I think that's just down to the fact that people in my region don't really play 3v3 that much. It's more of a niche game mode, so obviously I'm gonna have less players to play with and end up playing people further away most of the time. But it's okay, I still do pretty decently. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, some life updates, of course, says if you're a Man United fan like I am, we just took the top of the table in the Premier League, and it's gotta be a good feeling to see that. It's an amazing feeling, I'm not gonna lie. I'm having a great time this year so far. 2021 has come out swinging in all the right directions for me, and without further ado, let's go into the topic of today's video. I wanted to talk about the FFAR and why you shouldn't sleep on it. Trust me, this gun at the beginning of Cold War was busted, right? It was OP and it got nerfed, and after the nerf a lot of people just didn't bother using it. When you see people using ARs in most games, usually people are using the AK-47, the XM4, maybe the Crick 6. The other assault rifles don't really get that much love. You don't really see them often. In fact, for the FFAR, you don't really see it at all. Most games you don't see this gun. Most people are going to use, again, the XM4, the AK-47, or they'll use one of the SMGs like the MAC-10, they'll use the AK-74U, or maybe the MP5. Like, those are the popular meta guns, I'd say, of Black Ops Cold War. But this gun, the FFAR, has a very strong niche. You have to use it in its niche. You cannot use this as like an all-purpose weapon. And I'll explain today what exactly I feel is this gun's absolute strength, and that is the stability. The recoil of this gun, if you can control it, if you learn the recoil pattern, it's actually one of the easier guns to control once you get the recoil down, which means you can pump out with the fire rate that this gun has. It's a really fast fire rate, maybe the fast firing AR in the game. When you combine that really easy to control recoil with that really high fire rate, you can turn this gun into a laser beam that absolutely destroys people at medium and short range. Long range, it does lose out because the recoil does get a little bouncy at times, and my class setup, doesn't rely on a sight. I use the iron sights. I don't want to use most guns in this game. I don't use sights, with the exception of maybe the MP5, because I really have trouble looking down that center sight. It's a bit too occluded for me. But with this, it's a very big, open, clear picture sight, and it's super easy to gun people down, and it doesn't bounce around as much. It's a very stable recoil. All you gotta do, if you're playing on PC, you pull down and to the left slightly, and you're pretty much gonna stay on target most of the time, and you're gonna beam people. And if you aim for the headshot with this gun, I think it's still got the 1.4 times headshot multiplier. You will absolutely destroy people. You see me just, killing people in this lobby. That dude's AFK. That does happen sometimes in 3v3, because in 3v3, if you get into a stomp, some people they just quit. They just, instead of leaving, they just stand there and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna not play. And I feel them sometimes. It sucks when you get beat, but hey, it is what it is, man. It's Call of Duty. Sometimes you get stomped, sometimes you stomp. Going into it, attachment wise, I think the number one thing, the most important thing, is the foregrip. So if you get that foregrip unlocked, stick it on there quickly, because that really helps with a lot of the horizontal recoil. And then mostly when horizontal recoil is a lot harder to deal with than vertical recoil. So once you get the horizontal recoil down, all you gotta do is really pull down slightly to the left, and you mostly keep your shots on target. You'll kill people. It's gonna be super easy. And check out my buddy Fawn here with the RPD of Justice, absolutely destroying the enemy team. We actually have the same score, but he's top and I'm not, and I'm just confused at that point. But I guess, He went on a bigger streak than me. But here we go on KGB. I think this might be my favorite map for 3v3. It's just so fun. It's small and compact, and you're always in a fight. You know, you're never getting to a situation where you're gonna play against people who are constantly camping. You're gonna get into fights most often. But you can see here, my ping is a 200 ms. It's ridiculous that, you know, we even pulled off what we pulled off in this gameplay because we were so lagging. Like, you can hear me and my buddies talking in the background. You can't hear me because my mic track is muted, but you can hear my buddies in the background not having the best of times because all their shots are so delayed. We were having such a bad time trying to get shots until we realized, you know, how to beat our opponents that we were playing against in this game. And guys, I think this gameplay shows you exactly what the FFAR can do. Once I get going, of course, I start rough. Remember, 200 ms ain't easy to play. It's rough, fellas, out here. But once I get my groove and I get my and I get completely embarrassed by this guy. Like, I forget to finish my reload before going in, and he was waiting for me. Fair play to him, but I get him back for that. I get him back for that multiple times throughout the rest of the match. I think at this point I decided to just absolutely go off, and I go on like a 9 or a 10 kill streak. But this is what the FFAR can do. You know, it's the kind of gun where you can be having a bad game, but you just click into like a rhythm, and then you just murder everybody else in the lobby. That's how much I like this gun. Granted, it's not gonna give you as much oomph at the start as something like an MP5 or an AK-74U. This is something that you need to level up. The base attachment on this gun, they're not that great. You need to level it up and get higher level attachments. This gun with the operator foregrip would be amazing. The field agent foregrip, and here I went on like a 9 kill streak right here. But like, as I was saying, you know, the field agent foregrip will probably be the best option in terms of grip. You need an extended magazine with this. Currently I'm using the 34 round speed mag because reload speed on this gun is really slow if you're not boosting it with the reload attachment. And that's something that you really have to do because you're gonna run out of ammo real fast. That's one thing you realize. The 24 bullets, I think, that it comes with natively, not enough to do much. You're gonna end up in a lot of trouble most of the time because you'll be in between reloads and getting shot. So you're gonna want to get the fast mags as fast as possible and the increased ammo count mags as fast as possible so that you can keep fire down range as long as possible, so that you're not in a situation where you kill one guy, have to reload, and then the other guy trades you. I'm using the laser sight on this, and that's because I didn't unlock some of the attachments. But one more attachment that you want to have is the speed tape to boost your aim down sight speed, because when you have the increased magazine size, your aim down sight speed is going to be lower, which means that you are going to struggle in the range where this gun is dominant, which is the short to medium range, because you want to raise your sights up as fast as possible, but with a larger mag it's going to take longer. So speed tape is super important. In fact, I think the SAS grip tape, the one at the bottom, the last one you unlock that properly, is going to be the best one because it gives you the biggest bonus in terms of aim down sight speed, also reducing flinch. And you don't have to worry so much about sprint out time, because ideally when you're using this gun, you're not running into somebody and then raising up your sights. I'm not playing the most optimal manner. That's because this is just my style of play. I'm just much more aggressive than usual. But if you're posting up at medium range with this, it's absolutely going to dominate whoever you're playing against if you can maintain accuracy on target. And that's genuinely why I believe this gun is underrated. You know, if you're somebody that loves to use the AK-74U, you probably enjoy using the FFAR once it's kitted out, of course. It's honestly, in my opinion, I wouldn't put it in the top 5 guns, but it's just outside of that. It's one of those guns where it's not S tier, but you can still put it in maybe A or B tier. It's usable, it's underrated, and if you get it in the right circumstances, you absolutely will dominate with it. And that's all I got to say about the FFAR, you know. I'm just going to take some of this time to talk about how, you know, I really do appreciate everybody, you know, every comment, every like, every sub. The last few days I've got quite a few subs, and I'm really happy about that. Thank you, of course, everybody who checks out my channel. I'm always happy when people are checking out my stuff and telling me that they're enjoying my content. And of course, every day, you know, I'm grinding, trying to improve as much as possible to be more entertaining. Of course, drop a like for the best play that your boy gets with the FAMAS. It's just a good gun, guys. I'm telling you, try it out. Try it out. I'm not going to give you like an attachment guide on what's the best to use immediately. I did say, you know, what works for me, but experiment, see what works for you. If you stuck around to the end, thank you so much. That's all the time I have for today. Peace out.